Hey everybody, it's me, and it is a hot mess day. So Rose is having some technical difficulties, but we're working on it. But if I didn't go live right now, I was going to lose this slot, and then we'd have to go find me somewhere around on the internet. I'm also trying to transfer some money to my business account, and that doesn't work either. So here we are. So how are you guys doing? And I'm going to look at some comments that maybe you guys had before. So we'll just go live and we'll chat till Rose is here. Rose is going to do a workout for us. I was not prepared to show you all the things, but look, dried peppers, getting ready to be powders. I've got mushrooms over here ready to be powders. Leanne, I'm not sure why you can't see the chat. But let me go look over here, because you're actually typing in the chat, Leanne, so you might just be the first person to chat. And I'll just be like, this is the chat. Welcome. And hopefully you'll see that. Okay, you do see it now. Okay, great. Wow, what a day. What a mess. I was supposed to be in a little window. The kitchen is fairly clean, though, behind me. Usually I have some cute bottles. I'm going to be making some coffee syrups and things like that. Lee's popping in for a second. Leanne is seeing it now. Lisa is here. Penny was saying, I just found out that my cousins, come on, there we go. Oh, it's so teeny tiny. I'm going to make it bigger, and we're just going to enjoy ourselves till Rose can join us. And we can talk about things like Cheryl and I are safe from the hurricane from Helene. Penny just found out that her cousins and their family in Western NC are all fine, which is wonderful. They've been using a tractor to clear mud and trees out of the roads. They live up in the mountains of Waynesville, and it's really, really a mess up there. Like, roads washed away. Roads that we drive on when we go to visit are just gone. People are having, I think they are actually using helicopters to get some stuff into people. They said, basically, they've never said this the whole time that I have actually existed, but they've closed all the roads. So there's a couple that have been washed out, one between Tennessee and Western North Carolina, and another one has washed out. So it's crazy. Hey, Apple. It's good to see you. We're waiting on Rose. She's having some sort of technical difficulty, and Cheryl, I think, is working with her. And so hopefully she'll be on soon. We're not sure what happened. And Moni says, hi, Kathy, glad you guys are safe. Love your glasses. Thank you. New glasses. I don't think they look as purple this way, but my shirt's a little loud and big. And we are just trying to just get through the week, which is kind of ironic, since I was like, hey, Rose, you're probably going to have to do most of the things in this. And here we are, and I'm just hanging out. And I feel like I should tidy. Oh, Apple says, I'm just tucking into breakfast. Excellent. I feel you. I will talk about what we've done today and how the week has gone. I know you guys have seen Cheryl a little bit more than me, I think. And Cheryl's going to be on tonight again at 9 doing her Motivate Your Monday live. Kitty Mommy's here. Yay. Hello. And Rose hopefully will be on with us in a bit. What else was I going to tell you? We took a really big walk today. I think most of you already know that our dog Max is kind of in his senior age, and I know Cheryl talked last week that we talked to an animal communicator. And if you believe in that or not, that is okay. You don't have to. It helped us kind of come to terms with what's going on. And since then, Max has been very symptomatic. So his hips, his back, his neck, some other things that are going on with him. He's still living a good doggy life, but we're right at that edge. So tomorrow, all of that is to justify what I'm about to say, is tomorrow Max crosses over the Rainbow Bridge, and it's very tough. So if you see me kind of like, why is she not perky? Why is she not as outward as I usually am? I'm just trying to process it, and I'm sad. And literally, Cheryl got laid off, and then we had this, so we haven't had any processing time. So that's what we're going to be doing. But we did. Hey, Maxie, do you want to come say hey to the people? That's a hard no. Sorry. We went on a big 2-mile hike, which usually he doesn't do all of that. But I have been getting the message that he wanted to do this old hike we used to do that's not that hard. It's just about a 2-mile, and he was ahead of us. So usually now we can go a 1/4 mile, and he's just really lagging. And he was like, no, all the way to the end, until we got out of the state park again and on the road to go to our house. And then he slowed down. And the mosquitoes. So if you see me fidgeting, like literally, I've never been swarmed as this many mosquitoes. I took Benadryl, which I never do, which is really great because all the swelling. So I probably have 50 bites right there. So that also doesn't make me any perkier. But I was kind of snippy. A friend of ours came with us, and Cheryl, and they're kind of like, oh, there's lots of mosquitoes. We're in the woods. And I'm like, y'all can turn back. It's okay. And then they kind of said, oh, but the mosquitoes. I'm like, you can turn back, but I'm going ahead and taking my dog where he wants to go. And I'm fine to do it by myself. But and then our friend Claire had somewhere to go. So she turned around. And because it wasn't really, my thing about being snippy wasn't to make anybody else do anything, but it was to get them to let me do what I felt like was a really important task for Max. And he was so happy. He walked down, he walked back, and this is the one place where he goes and he actually, like, he drinks water from the Eno, puts his little paws in there. Like, he's an anti-water dog except for this one spot. And I had been getting the message that he wanted to go there the past 2 weeks, and it's been hurricane rains and all of these different things and flooding over there. Little flooding, not like the big Western North Carolina flooding. I'm still checking. Any news on Rose?
I told her
to restart.
She restarted. She can. It still wasn't working. She has a fancy camera plugged into the computer. I told her to turn the camera off and back on, and then open a new tab and use the link that you sent her earlier.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Sorry, we're trying to troubleshoot. So, what Cheryl was saying is, yeah, they were still working on it. Yeah, and Apple says, broken heart about Max. Susan also, yeah. And Kathy says, glad you're preparing. It's so hard to lose a pet. I even struggle when it's a pet that I frequently sat for. Yeah, it's very hard. And Max has been my special little bunny. He really has. He is not an easy dog. So we've rearranged our lives a lot around him. And I think that's what made me struggle with some of this, because there were some other feelings involved. But he's been doing what he wants to do. He's been eating things he loves, having all the treats, all the pets. And the past couple of nights, he's just been like, what's going on? And not doing great through the night. So I do feel pretty confident that it's time. And that's not going to make it easier. And those of you who are just hanging out with me while I talk about Max, Rose will be coming on for a workout. Unfortunately, you have this Kathy today. You have sad, overwhelmed Kathy. But I think we all get sad and overwhelmed at some points. And I took Benadryl, which usually doesn't make me sleepy, and I think that's making me sleepy. Either that or the 200 mosquito bites I got for an hour. But yeah, I mean, he's happy, he's sleeping, he's being cozy, he's doing all the things. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about before Rose comes on? Anything that you want to ask or do? Oh, what's in the tray next to me? Absolutely. So these are ancho chili peppers. Aw, Apple. I just want to give you a big old snuggle. Apple says, I love all the various Kathys. Thank you very much, because I've just gotten to the point that I'm not a good pretender. So these are guajillo chilies that basically, you get them dry, and you can get them at Walmart if you don't have a specialty store. It'll be cheapest if you have a Hispanic market near you. I cut off the stems, cut them down, pull out the seeds and the ribs, and then I take some scissors, and make them into smaller pieces. I'm probably going to have to toast these up a little bit more because I left them sitting out today. It's very humid here. So then I'm going to grind it into powder. And then I did the same thing. These are ancho chili peppers, and I'll probably have to toast them up a little bit. These are great gifts, and it's not very expensive. So you might spend $5 and be able to make a couple of jars of these, and that's great if you're kind of on a budget for the holidays, or if you don't know what somebody wants. These are an experiment I'm getting ready to do, which are dried shiitake mushrooms that I'm going to dry a little more and make mushroom powder. And if I do, this will probably be, I'm guessing, 1.5 cups-ish to 2 cups of mushroom powder. Oh, that's a great question, Apple. Apple's saying, do I make my own tomato powder? And I do sometimes, but lately I've been using bigger batches of it. So I bought some. I bought 1 pound, and from doing the instant tomato soup, which I'll probably put up at some point on YouTube and on the blog. So that should be coming soon. And this, I had some shiitake mushrooms from the Korean class, and I always just pull out the bottoms, the little stems, which are edible. The reason I do this is then I spent $8 on a whole bunch of mushrooms I used in a meal, and then I will make this into mushroom powder. But you can, if you have a lot of tomatoes still coming in, cherry tomatoes make great tomato powder, and that works really, really well. Another thing that can be good to dry are jalapenos. Oh, Leanne says, do you have other recipes for the tomato powder? I ended up with a lot. Yes. And there's going to be even more. So I use it in some spice blends. I'm using it in a couple of other things as well. Let's see what I've got on the blog. Everything I have is not on the blog. So let's search tomato powder and see what we come up with. It's in the veggie beef bouillon powder that's on there. So I use ancho chilies and tomato powder to kind of like give that darker umami. It really supports the mushrooms into tasting a little bit beefier. Is there any in this recipe? No. Yes. So I also have an easy vegan cheese powder recipe, and it does have some, it has some tomato powder too. So what I would say, especially those of you, ooh, I think Rose is here. Okay, let me get you in here, Rose. Yay! That look is precious. Okay, let me make sure you're in the big one, and then we can just kind of start over. So we have just been talking about the dried veggies I have over here, making your own jalapeno, ancho and guajillo powder, tomato powder, mushroom powder. And Apple says, Rose!
I'm here.
And I'm so glad you're here. How are you doing?
Unfortunately for everyone, now we can do a workout.
And not unfortunately, everybody's here for you, and I'm just running my mouth. The thing I don't know if you know this, I was saying they kind of have sad tired Kathy today, but like tomorrow, Max is going to cross over the Rainbow Bridge. So, I think you knew that, but. So, and I had said the irony of me having to talk to them about nothing is that you have sad Kathy, and Rose and I were talking about, you're like, I'm going to do it all.
Then they just leave you.
No, that's not how it felt. Then the internet did its intranetting. So what we're going to do today, I love this. Apple says Rose is giving flash dance vibes. And I love it.
I can't dance though, so it's going to be a workout. I'm sorry, Apple.
That's okay. That's the vibe. The vibe is important. So I'm trying to think. I think I'm just going to let you introduce yourself, talk about the program. The information on how to get in touch with Rose and get some of the free stuff she may talk about is down in the comments. And I just so you know, in case you haven't seen that, I love Rose. I think Rose is so awesome. She's got this really like perky, happy, upbeat energy. And when she's saying, oh no, you have to work out, she's also going to tell you don't have to work out as much as other people and that you don't have to do a lot of hard cardio. So even if you're like, hang in there because she's got you. So Rose, I'm going to pass it to you and let you introduce yourself and run your workout, and I will save my questions till the end.
Sounds like a plan. Well, I am so happy to be here. I love Kathy and Cheryl right back. So what I do is I am a fitness and nutrition coach, particularly for whole food plant-based women who are in the pre-menopause, perimenopause, and post-menopause age. A majority of our clients, so I have an online program and I have coaches that work with me. So I am not, of course, that age yet. My coaches are a little bit older, but what we love to teach for workouts is that you don't need more unless you want them. You don't need more than 2 workouts per week. So last month when I was on the show, I did a full body routine, and today I'm going to do an additional full body routine. So if you want to go back to last week's show and then save this show, those 2 workouts can be done throughout your week. So for example, Monday you can do one of those workouts, and then Wednesday or Thursday you can do the second one. So do the one that I'm about to do. And then you can just do that for 4, 5, or even 6 weeks in a row without changing anything at all. Because most people think that every time you go and do a workout, it has to be different. It has to be brand new, a new exercise, a new routine. Even though our minds may like variety, when we are focusing on muscle building, our muscles like the same movement. Our muscles like that consistency, so you can really progress and build the muscle. So keep those 2 workouts the same for 4, 5, or 6 weeks, and then when I come back on the show again, I can give you some new exercises to throw in. So this is going to be a 20-30 minute quick full body workout. Of course, disclaimer, please consult with your primary healthcare provider before beginning any kind of workout routine. And if you feel any pain or an injury or just discomfort, stop and I'll show some regressions as well. So we're going to start on the mat with a little bit of a warm-up, and then we are going to go into the workout. So all you need for this workout is, if you have dumbbells, great. If you don't, then you can just grab a can of any type of bean and use cans of beans. So that's why I like to call these workouts beans and biceps. So if you have a mat, you can lay it down. If not, you can grab a blanket or a towel. We're going to start with a warm-up. So we're going to come down, back flat against the ground, and we are going to do 10 glute bridges. So your feet are shoulder width apart, and then we're going to bridge up, hips to ceiling, and come back down and lower. So we'll do 10 here. Slow and controlled. Exhale when you come up. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So for our second warm-up exercise, it's this ab workout called dead bug. So we're going to come feet and your knees are about at a 90-degree angle. Feet are facing straight ahead. And then this is a good one for the brain to keep your mind sharp because you're going to do your opposite leg and opposite hand for 10. So right arm, left leg. I can't really cue these because I'm going to mess it up, but right leg, left arm, pulling your abs down, pulling your lower ribs down. Perfect. Last 5, 4, warming up the core, warming up the full body. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do one more round of the glute bridges, and then we're going to begin the workout. So feet shoulder width apart, come up for 10, 9, 8, squeeze your hips to the ceiling, 7, this is warming up our glutes and our posterior chain, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So we're going to keep on the mat for this first exercise. So it's going to be the same thing that we just did. So I have a few different variations. So if you want to take your weights and put them in the hip crease, if that's comfortable. If not, you don't have to do any weights. We're going to do glute bridges here with a weight. Now, an advanced variation is if you want to do a single leg glute bridge. So you can have the weights here for the double leg, or you can do a single leg glute bridge. And if you're really feeling spicy, you can put a weight for this one as well. So I'm going to do 8 on each side. So we're going to come up and back down. 7, 6, 5, and keep that left hip raised. 4, you want your pelvis to be even. 3, 2, 1. Little shake, and then we're going to move to our left leg. We're going to come up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you came to my workout last month, you know that I love supersets. So a superset means that you're going to do 2 exercises back to back, and then you're going to rest after. So our second exercise is going to be modified push-ups. So if you would like to try this, knees on the ground, come down as far as you can, and back up. Or if you do not want to do the push-up, you can come back, flip back around to here, and do a chest press. So your cans of beans or your weights right here over your chest, press up, and back down. So I'm going to do the push-up, and we're going to do about 8 right here. Core nice and tight, come down, press up, 7, 6, 5, 4, keep those elbows close, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So now you would take about 1 minute rest, and then I'm just going to do 1 set of each exercise. So you can take a rest and then do another set. So if you are totally brand new to this type of workout routine, what I suggest is just doing 2 sets for like your first week, 2 week, 3 week, even 4 week. Then you can always add a third set. But you want to keep the same exercises every single week, like I said, for about 6 weeks total. So if you go back to the episode I did last month and then this routine, you can just use that in your week. Monday, Thursday, that's it. 2 workouts with a few exercises, less than 30 minutes, done. So we're gonna move on to our second superset. So we're gonna come up, and the charger's there, so just plug it in. Okay. So we are gonna do a advanced move first, and then I'll show you the regression. So advanced move, I'm going to move this mat over. Advanced move would be a lunge. So that would mean if you want to use your weights, feet shoulder width apart, and then you're going to come back and lunge down. That's advanced. If you want to do a regression, we can do the squat. So you can take one weight, feet shoulder width, oops, come back down, and back up. So I will show the lunges. We're going to do 8 total. Nice, slow and controlled. Perfect. Our second exercise of this superset is going to be for our shoulders. So we're going to do a lateral raise. So this might be a little too difficult to do with dumbbells or your cans of beans. You can always drop them. But what you want to do is come up, stop right at your shoulders, and then come back down. We'll do 8 of those. Perfect. So that is going to work the sides of your shoulders. So if anyone, I know Apple came to my class last time, so the last live I did with Kathy. So she saw the same type of routine. However, it's cool because this routine is going to be working like slight variations of the exercises from last week. So we're hitting all of our muscle groups twice. If you work out one day out of the week and then another day, you're hitting all the muscle groups twice, and you're doing different types of joint angles, right? So for example, the workout I did when I came on last month, we were doing shoulder presses, which is for the anterior deltoid. This is working the lateral deltoid. So we're still working the shoulder, the deltoid, but we're coming in from different angles. So that's why you want to have a wide range of workouts, but still focus on the same types of muscle groups. So we're going to go into our superset number 3, and we're going to go back on the ground. So for this one, we're gonna be doing our back. So last time I came on the show, we did a row. This time we're gonna do a dumbbell pullover. So you're gonna come in a bridge. You're gonna bring your dumbbell up over your chest, hold it like a hammer. Then you're gonna go all the way back as far as you can, reach, and then come back up. So we're gonna do 8 to 10 of these, and this is pulling, working your lat muscle, which is right here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down and push. Now, since we're on the floor, I like to keep everything efficient. Why get up and down? Why burn more calories when you don't have to? But we're gonna do tricep extension. So again, last workout, we did something very similar, but we were standing up. So now we're gonna bring our dumbbells or our cans of beans overhead. We're gonna keep our elbows pointing straight ahead, and then we're just gonna bend very slightly, bringing the weight down and pushing up. So keep them right by your skull. This is called a skull crusher. All the way down, push. 3, 4, we'll go to 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna come up, and we've got one more exercise to finish off with. If you're still feeling like you want to keep going, then you can do those dead bugs that we did in the beginning of the workout. You can do 2 rounds of that at the end for an ab routine. However, we're going to finish off with a little spicy bicep finisher. So just a reminder, I just did 1 set of everything, so I wanted to make sure we had enough time to go through it. If you're watching this, just pause me and do an extra set. If you're like, Rose, I can do so much more, then you could do 3 or 4 sets if you want to make it a little longer. But if you do 2 sets of everything, the warm-up set, the first superset, the second superset, the third superset, and the finisher, it shouldn't take you longer than 25 minutes, which I think is perfect because you can do that right when you wake up. You can do that on a lunch break. You can do that right before bed. Super easy. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I just did a workout. How fun. And then you get so excited, and then you feel so good. And then you're going to keep wanting to work out. Then you're like, oh wow, I'm going to join a gym. So who knows what can happen. But anyway, here we go. So we're going to do, last time I did hammer curls. We're going to do wide grip curls. So we're going to curl and come up. Then we're going to come halfway down, push out, and push in. Curl up, halfway down, push out, push in, and back down. We'll do 8. Curl up, curl down, push out, push in, back down. Curl up, down, out, back, down, up, out, back. I think I messed that one up. Down, up, halfway down, push, 1 more, all the way, down, up, halfway down, push out. Okay, so there you have it. I wanted to run through all of the exercises to make sure we had enough time. But just to recap, if you are watching this, do 2 sets of everything. And we started off with our warm-up, which was for our glutes and our core. So we did the glute bridge and then we did the dead bugs. Then our first superset was that variation of the glute bridge. So we did a glute bridge. If you were feeling crazy, then we were doing that one leg glute bridge. And then we did the chest press or push up. Then, oh my gosh, let's see if I remember. What did we do next? Then our next one, we did the lunge and the lateral raise. Again, the lunge is one that's very advanced. If you have knee pain, then I wouldn't recommend lunging. I would recommend doing the squat again from the workout from last month. And then we went back down on the floor and we did our back, and then we did our triceps, and then we finished with our biceps. And then, like I said, if you want to do more abs, you can do those dead bugs again that we did at the beginning. But you guys, we literally did our entire body, all of the muscle groups that we care about. We did our glutes and our legs. We did our chest and our shoulders and our triceps. We did our abs, we did our back, we did our biceps. So, you know, aside from the little calves or other little things, those like little muscles, we pretty much did a really well-rounded full body workout. And that is gonna get you that tone and that just lean, tight look that you want. It's the lifting, and then it's making sure your nutrition is dialed in, and then of course focusing on whole plant-based foods is just going to make you feel super energized and super vibrant. So this is full body number 2. Go back to when I was on here last month for full body number 1. Then you can do full body number 1 on a Monday, full body number 2 on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Keep that the same for up to 6 weeks, and then you really don't have to change any of those exercises. Keep going through it. Maybe if you don't have dumbbells, you can go out and buy them. You can try and get heavier ones each week. Maybe add in an extra set or an extra rep or 2. You want to feel at the end of each set that you only can do maybe like 1 or 2 more exercises without completely breaking form. That's when you know you're at the right intensity for you. So you just want to make sure that you are feeling it, that you are focused, that you have good form. Keep my video up next to you. And like I said, only 25 minutes, and that's all you need, just 2 per week.
I love that.
Good.
And we have a few questions, and I just want to say, so I went in and I made a playlist of these 2 videos. We have some others with Rose that aren't workouts. I will also try and go back and relabel them workout 1 and workout 2, so that'll make it a little easier for everybody to keep up with. So Kathy was saying, will there be a list of the exercise posted? There's not really a list, but what you can do is just bring your mat and your weights or beans and just play the video and watch it, just work out right along with her. And right now with both of them, there's some talking. Cheryl's going to re-edit the first one, so it's just your workout and not us chatting in between it. So that probably should happen by next week, everybody. I'm sorry. We went away and we came back ready to go, and all kinds of craziness ensued. But that, and then with this one, that's why I just shut up. I was like, let's shut up. So when the video processes, I'll cut out our beginning chatty part, and I may or may not cut this out. We can see. We'll see what needs to be done. But one of the things I love so much is that it's very helpful for me to watch somebody else do an exercise, because it can feel one way in my body, but if I'm watching someone, I'm the person who likes to go to exercise classes. Like, I don't love it, like it's hard, and yeah, no Zumba, thank you. I've tried. I am not a good candidate. I'm always like 3 steps behind everyone. I'm like, it's nice music, woo!
I move like a robot. robot. Like, this is me moving my hips. So Zumba and I just know.
Oh, it's pretty funny. Cheryl and I did it, and we would just be in the back, like, oh, God forbid someone would make us move up, because I'm like, no way, no ma'am. But these are so doable, but like being able to see somebody else do it is very helpful, and I think, at least for me, and I think other people as well, even if you're not feeling it in your muscle memory, me envisioning you doing that one leg bridge, I could feel it where I was going to feel it even just watching you this time. So, and a couple of other questions. Jeremy says, what's the difference between a set and a superset?
That is a great question, Jeremy. So a set is just the grouping of the reps. So a rep is just one repetition, right? So one bicep curl. A set would be 8 bicep curls. And then typically after a single set, you rest for 60 minutes and then you'll do another set. A superset is when you do a set of one exercise back to back with a set of another exercise, and then you rest after the 2.
Okay, that's awesome. Leanne has a couple of questions for you. First, she says, I appreciate that this isn't a huge time commitment. Not that I'm so busy, I just don't like dedicated exercise. I tend to work out in everyday life. So, and I agree, for those of you who are kind of like, and we have these conversations in other lives as well. Everybody wants to move more, but it's hard because you have to learn something, you have to do something. Now all you have to do is just turn on your YouTube and watch Rose and just do what she does. She raises this hand, you raise this hand, right? And I like it. It's kind of like exercise by numbers in a way.
Just shut your brain off, put the video on. But sometimes, like we always talk about, Kath, it's like there's 10 steps sometimes that you have to do before even turning the YouTube on. And that's what can be overwhelming. So try and like fit it into your life and habit stack as best as you can.
Well, and one of the things too, Cheryl's doing the movement group on Heartbeat, and that's our free membership that you guys can come over. It's a way that you can talk without spammers coming in on Facebook and stuff like that. But come on over there. Maybe we can even list under the movement stuff if some people want to do your workout at the same time. People could even still kind of do it a little bit virtually together. If that's a motivator for you, we can make that happen. Leanne also wants to know, should I do cardio on some of the off days?
That's a great question. So what I'll say to that is if you're someone that just you love your walks. So I know Chef Julia always does her, 4 or 5 mile walks in the morning. If you're someone that likes walking, that's really all you need, I would say. But if you're someone that loves running, because I know there's some of us that love running, do that. But if you don't like it, like me going to a Zumba class, you don't have to do anything else aside from walking. So do what you love. Try to get 10,000 steps in per day. If you love running or cardio, do it. But don't be doing it every day. Definitely give yourself 2 rest days per week.
Okay, that's great. A nice concrete answer is always helpful. And another question is, and should we work to increase the amount of weight that we're lifting? And someone else, actually, I will say this too, so we'll kind of get it. TS is saying, is it better to increase the weight amount or increase the reps with the same weight? So those are kind of the same question in a way.
Those both 2 questions are I just can't speak right now. Those 2 questions are very good questions. So what you want to do is try to lift with more intensity. What do I mean by intensity? So intensity can be more reps or more weight or a combination of both. But you don't want to increase your reps so much to the point where you're out here doing like 30 squats, because that's going to be more cardio and working more your cardiovascular system than your muscle system. So what I would say is start off with kind of a range of exercise. So start, 8 to 10 reps. So try, if you have a can of bean, for example, like your lowest weight, try to get to doing 10 reps with that can of bean. And then at that 10th rep, you should feel like you can't do 1 or 2 more if you had to. If you get to the 10th rep and you're like, whoa, I can do 5 more, that's probably a sign that you can do more weight. Then you might have to knock it down to the 8 reps, the lower range, if you have a heavier weight. So I would say, concrete answer, set a rep range like 8 to 10 or 10 to 12, and then try to get to the highest end of that range with the heaviest weight that you can. So you might need to work that up incrementally each week. But I would try it that way rather than just keeping the same weight and then adding reps every week, because that can just be more cardio than strength training.
Awesome. And Lee says, got it. You're so good at it, just making things very simple. So I appreciate that, because when you're beginning something new, that's when everything is like the variable. You don't, you don't know exactly what to do. And I like what you were showing about the weights. You could have cans of beans, and when we're doing cans of beans, we're doing the smaller cans of beans, right? Not the big. I have tiny little like chipmunk paws, so look, if you see, like, I'm barely like around this cup. It's ridiculous. So I have had someone hand me something out of the drive-in, like a coffee, and have it pop right out of my hand.
Yeah.
So
honestly, the other week I was on vacation and I was in a restaurant and I went to reach for the water glass and it fell, like I knocked it and it projectiled onto the table, onto this man. Thankfully he was so sweet, but it caused this huge scene in the restaurant just because I could not pick the glass up.
Right, so I just want to make sure everyone knows it's not the giant big cans. You're just going to use regular cans to start out with. We also talked about too, if that's hard for you to do, maybe you have even tinier chipmunk hands than I do. Like getting empty bottles of water, especially since there's all kinds of hurricane preparedness happening everywhere, right? Just keep a couple of those, and you can add water as you need to as well. And I have been, because it's Halloween season, scoping out all the Rosses, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and Home Goods, and there are weights everywhere. Cheap weights, like from 1 or 2 pounds to like 30 pounds. So, and what weight would you start with if you were just starting to do some of this stuff? Like maybe you've never done any kind of weight work before.
That's an awesome question. So I would say our legs are probably stronger. So for things like squats or the deadlift that I did last month, you can probably start off with 10s or 12s. Then when you're doing your upper body, especially those lateral raises, I can't go more than 15. So, and I've been lifting for over a decade. So sometimes those little muscles are a little harder. So I would say for upper body, for the presses, start with 5s. And a really good that made me think, instead of, how we always reward ourselves, right? If we're doing something like, oh, I'm going to be good all week and then have a slice of, a delicious Chef AJ's dessert. Well, we can have that every day. You know what I'm trying to say? But what you can do is say, hey, I am going to do Rose's workout 3 weeks in a row. And then on that 3rd week, maybe try rewarding yourself by buying yourself a new workout outfit or a pair of dumbbells.
I like that. I like that a lot too. And don't forget too, oftentimes at thrift stores you can find some pretty good exercise equipment, and we have something called Play It Again, which may be a national chain. And so basically, if you found you were using a piece of equipment as like laundry storage, you can resell it there or trade it in to get something you will use more. Oh, Katya's here. And Katya, this is Rose, who I was talking to you about. Katya was on last week. And you guys don't know each other yet, right? Have we talked?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh yeah, and Katya's saying Play It Again is awesome. So Katya Gorbacheva is a vegan power lifter, and she's part of the vegan Oh, I'm just going to, the Vegan Power Team or something. I'm not
Strong.
Yeah, Strong Team. The
Yeah.
vegans, and they're going to Mr. America. So there's like a whole bunch of them.
Cool.
Yeah, and so I thought you guys would be really interesting. So Katja, while she works with some, she does private training with people. So she is working to get people my age trained up to lift a lot of weights and things like that. And so she like goes through your diet, does things like that. So she has a different kind of plan, but okay. And Katja's saying, hi Rose, Kathy, how have you gathered all the athletes in your lives this week, right? I know. All the cool young chicks are hanging out with us this, Oh, there, thank you. I'm sorry, Katja. I just had a very weird day. Vegan Strong Plant Built Team is the name of it, and the hashtag is plants have all the protein you need. And so I just think you would like that because we have another person in the area. So Katja lives in Hillsborough, though she's moving back to Russia after Mr. America. Right? I can't remember. My brain is cheese, and it's melting. So I'm sorry. But then she's going to be going back to Russia, but she's still going to be training people and things like that because all the stuff she does is virtual. But I think you guys would be interested. Oh, I know. I was going to say that Ashley Kitchens is a CrossFit athlete on that team as well.
Cool.
So it's a little more advanced than me.
Very much as well. This is, yeah. I think we should have everyone together for a massive vegan lifting, just live extraordinaire.
Ooh, that could be fun. You never know. But yeah, you should follow her. I think you guys would get along. She's hilarious. She's really fun. Anybody else have any questions or answers before we? Oh, yeah. Katja says, Rose, let's hang. What's your sport?
My sport is training for life. I grew up playing tennis. I got into lifting. I've done some endurance races, but now it's just maintaining overall health and well-being. I have nothing really that I have as a goal workout-wise.
Just to be the best Rose that you can be.
That's it.
She's like, I never felt so much like you were a mom till just then.
I'm sure that's fun. No, Kathy, we are besties. We are, I think, can we swing a Disney trip before Kasha moves back?
Maybe. Well, we're going to be driving up the East Coast again. So how far away are you from like Sleepy Hollow? Because we're going to be in.
I can make that happen.
Have you ever been to Blaze Pumpkin thing? There's one on Long Island, but this one's the one that's out closer. Oh my God, it's so awesome. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of carved pumpkins. They're all carved by hand. Some of the elaborate ones. There's even a museum of modern pumpkins, and there's like Stormy Night, the Screams, carved out of pumpkins. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it's glorious.
That's so cool. Leave it to you to find just the coolest things.
If it's about Halloween, so we're going to be in Salem. We have an ECAM conference that we're going to for a couple of days in Amesbury, Mass, like we did last year. So we'll do all the spooky things. So we can talk about that because hopefully we're going to go live and show everybody else. I don't know if I'll have signal, and if we don't, then we'll film it and put it up. But yeah. Anything else? Any words you want to give everybody before you leave for the day?
I am just so thrilled to be here with you. I get so excited. Thank you, everyone, for bearing with the little delay. What I will say, though, is if you go into the description, Kathy has my free link. So if you put your email in, I promise I will not spam you, but I will only spam you with good things. So if you put your email in, then I will make sure to send out the workout PDF where workout 1 and workout 2 will be listed. So go and put your email in, and then you can download that and some of my other resources. And then I also can put the list in the comments of the exercises so you have it. But go into her description, click the link. I am the Plant Life Chose Us on Instagram as well. So definitely if you're a PDF printer out or workout person, I will give it to you that way too.
Aw, thank you so much. That'll be super, super helpful. And we'll set up something for October. We're going to obviously be gone in the middle of October, so maybe shoot me over some days that you have available near the end of October. And if you want, we can schedule through December. I don't know what your jet setting life is looking like.
We will schedule through December. You are a standing appointment. I want you on my calendar.
Excellent. Well, we want to see you for sure. And we appreciate these very simple, doable workouts, because even people who aren't watching them now are going to be watching them in a couple of months.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you just have the very best day, and thank you as always for sharing your wisdom and your happiness with us. And I know I personally appreciate you all the time.
Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for having me despite your crazy week. Much love to you guys. Thinking of you with Max, and
Thank you.
see you when I see you.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, now go do a workout. I've got to put the little thing in the front of the channel, but you should be able to follow them pretty soon, okay? All right, big hugs to everybody. And we are not going live tomorrow. I just got that moved. We're taking the day off. But Cheryl will be on at 9 o'clock to do Motivate Your Monday. So if anybody wants to come in and hang out with her, please do. And she will talk to you very soon, okay? Bye, you guys.